Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $19 Bank Shop best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college hoops. First up, we see Dayton and LSU. This one's a part of the Charleston Classic, a neutral site game. It's 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. We're going to start seeing more of these weekday college basketball games. For Thursday's card, the first game starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, rolls all the way to the Hawaii game against Niagara at 11:59 Eastern, or p.m. Eastern, I should say. So, a lot of college basketball all day long on Thursday and going forward in non-conference play, especially in the month of November. But in this matchup, Dayton and LSU both coming off their first losses of the season. Dayton's loss, not a bad one. At Northwestern, a top 60 team in Ken Palm, on the road, only by 5 points. Dayton looks to win those games, but it's not really a bad loss. For LSU, however, not a great loss against Nichols. It's certainly an upset. At home, you're a double-digit favorite. You lose 68-66. But, even though it's a bad loss on paper, Nichols, I still think, is one of the better teams in the Southland. They could be the best team on paper this year in the Southland, honestly. They're a team that I think could compete with some of the better WAC teams or the teams that left the Southland to go to the WAC, Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston. So, we see those teams pull off upsets all the time. LSU is pretty inexperienced, and I don't really put too much into that loss. Nichols shot 40% from 3, 12 of 30 in that game. Also 93% from the free throw line. They just were really on in that game shooting-wise. LSU fundamentally was strong. They had an offensive rebound advantage. They forced 20 turnovers to only 13 themselves, so they scored plenty of sustainable buckets inside the paint. They were 19 of 37 from two-point range. 51.4%, not too bad. I think LSU's going to bounce back, and I like them in this spot. I think they're the more talented team, and I think they're off a loss. We're actually getting a pretty good price with them off that bad loss to Nichols. I think we're getting a really good price with LSU. So give me LSU, the Tigers, on the money line. Next up, we see Texas Southern taking on Virginia. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on the ACC network. Now, I'm fading Texas Southern in this game, not because it's his third straight road game against, 3 straight really tough programs. Texas Southern's going to open the season with 7 straight true road games against all 7 solid programs in college basketball. And year after year, we see SWAC teams like Texas Southern schedule really tough non-conference schedules, pretty grueling schedules to help prepare them for SWAC play. So that's not the reason I don't like them. It's just the style that Virginia plays. To me, it's a really bad matchup for Texas Southern. Virginia and Tony Bennett, known to be one of the best defensive programs in college hoops. They force a lot of tough shots. They force turnovers as well. But really, you see that shot clock disappearing. Each possession, teams are forced to shoot shots from the logo almost. Really tough three-point jumpers. And I just don't think Texas Southern's going to be able to cash in on those shots consistently in this game. Right now they're 354th in effective field goal percentage and 342nd in three-point percentage as a team. They turn the ball over quite a bit. They don't really earn too much in the offensive glass. Their defense is solid. 112th in the nation for a SWAC team in adjusted defensive efficiency. Pretty darn good, but the offense is not good enough in a game like this. And while Virginia sometimes has issues in years past, at least, scoring consistently, this year, they're 29th in adjusted offensive efficiency, scored 80 against a solid Tarleton defense, 73 against the Florida Gators, and then won its last game 80-51 against North Carolina A&T. I like the form that Virginia's in. I like this. I think this is a really beneficial matchup. So give me Virginia laying a big number at home. Next up, we see Louisiana Tech taking on Louisiana Monroe, ULM. This one's 7:30 Eastern on ESPN+. I'm going to go with Louisiana Monroe in this game, plus the points. I think ULM is better than what we've seen in recent years, and the team has struggled in this series. We've seen Louisiana Tech win the last 3 games in this season series, but ULM coming off a nice win on the road against Central Michigan, a MAC team. I know it's not one of the better teams in the MAC, but still, Monroe shot 10 of 24 from 3, 42%. They were strong on the offensive glass, and that's something that Louisiana Tech did not face against Colorado State, who had no offensive rebounds in that ball game. I think ULM will be much stronger on the offensive glass, and they also force a good amount of turnovers. They're battle tested. They already faced Houston to start the year. While it wasn't a great performance, when you play one of the best teams in the country, it helps prepare you to play some of your rivals like Louisiana Tech and some of the conference teams in the Sun Belt. But I think there's just too many points in a game like this. I know Louisiana Tech has done well in this series, but to me, this is a game that's going to come down to the final buckets. Getting more than 2 buckets, I think, is valuable for in my eyes. So give me the points here with the Warhawks, ULM at home. Next up, we see Texas A&M Corpus Christi taking on Texas Tech. This one's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. For me, Texas A&M Corpus Christi played a very similar team to Texas Tech, and to a lesser extent in Houston back on November 11th. That was an 82-50 final score, a 32-point win for Houston. I think Texas Tech, even though their offense is not as sharp as Houston is right now, their defense certainly is. It's sixth in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency, fifth in effective field goal percentage defense, one of the best three-point defenses in the country. I think it's going to be strong in this game. It's given up 50 or fewer points in the first two games of the season, and that's including a game against a solid San Jose State offense. I think Texas Tech keeps Texas A&M Corpus Christi under 60 points at least, maybe 50 again in this ball game, and that should be enough for a big-time win and cover in this game. As although the Red Raiders offense has been hit or miss, I still think they're creating pretty good shots. They're a good offensive rebounding team, which bodes well against a 336th ranked defensive rebounding team right now. I'm going to take Texas Tech and lay the points at home. I think they win this game by 30. And the final game we're talking about for Thursday's card in college basketball, it's Missouri and Minnesota. This one, 9 o'clock Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Now, Missouri is one of the more fun teams to watch in college basketball, and there's no doubt they're going to pull off some nice upsets in SEC play as they did last year, but this team a little too volatile for me. They can be lethal at times offensively, but we've also seen them struggle shooting the ball like we saw earlier in the season against Memphis, where they only scored 55 points in that game despite that really fast-paced offense. They had a really rough second half. They only put 22 points in the second half of that game. I know Memphis is a solid defensive program, but Missouri shot 6 of 28 from 3, 21.4%, only 43% from two-point range, and it worries me because they're not the most fundamentally sound team to begin with, so they kind of rely on these really good shooting performances. Last year and so far this year, they took a lot of fouls. They're not a good rebounding team. Those are the big worries for me. Minnesota so far this year, I know it's a small sample size, but they've done a really good job of getting to the free throw line. So I think they're going to have a lot of free throw opportunities in this ball game, a lot more than Missouri will. And also Minnesota in general, just shooting the ball really well so far. It's, like I said, small sample size, but they put up so far 182 points combined in the first two games. They're ninth in the country in effective field goal percentage. They're improving defensively, especially in the two-point defense, ranked 15th in the nation right now. I'm going to go with Minnesota at home. I think this program is improving after a really disappointing season last year. I like Ben Johnson at coach. Give me Minnesota on the money line at home. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.